Brilliance Audio presents the unabridged recording of Messed Up by René Schweitzer, translation by D.W. Lovett, performed by Mikael Naramore. It was on a Thursday during the last days of August. Antonio, whom everyone called Anto, was ready for his shift at the Café Morricone. It was almost 8 in the morning, and he would have to spend the whole day until 5 standing behind the counter, serving the customers and helping the waitresses, a prospect that did not exactly thrill him. He had already been on his feet for 2 hours. The neighborhood in which the Morricone was located was more than a half hour from the apartment where Anto lived with his mother and older brother Stefano. For the past month, he had been working as a poorly paid intern at the cafe, full-time. His training as a restaurateur was to begin in a week. Anto didn't really want to do it, but he had to because his mother didn't want him spending any more time at home. 2 years before, he had dropped out of school after completing the mandatory portion with decent grades. Since then, he had been hanging out in the neighborhood with his buddies Stelios and Ben, dicking around. He had struggled through a few side jobs over the last few months, but hadn't held any of them very long. This time, however, he was determined to complete the training no matter what. Anto was 19. Something had to change. He didn't talk much with people he did not know that well, which made him seem reserved. When he was with his friends, a completely different side of him showed. He was not a leader, despite his height. He was over 6 feet tall. But neither did he put up with anything. His dark eyes radiated a certain coldness. He was not an emotional guy. He knew what happened to people who didn't know how to defend themselves. Anto had taken plenty of beatings in his childhood before he decided, at 13, that he had had enough and turned the tables. Anto leaned behind the counter, waiting. The Morricone was still completely empty, even though the doors were already open. At that time, the only ones working in the place were Anto, the cook, the dishwasher, and Susanna, the waitress. A little later, Kiesling, the assistant shift leader, would show up. Anto couldn't stand him. Kiesling had been working in the restaurant business for decades, and he had it out for Anto. During Anto's first week there, Kiesling had accidentally knocked a whole tray of ravioli to the ground while Anto was standing nearby. He screamed at Anto, asking why he had knocked the tray down.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?